Alright, so it is Tuesday. We have finished our little mini lesson on making connections. Now we are going to continue reading the rest of Little Red Riding Hood, and I'm going to show you what making a connection looks like as we're reading, okay? So I'm actually going to review some of the pages and look through the pictures, kind of shortly remind you what happened so far, and then we will jump in, keep reading from where we left off yesterday, making some connections, and then you guys are going to get to make a connection at the end of the story, okay? Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so here is our story, Little Red Riding Hood. Here's the cover. Yesterday, remember, we read about, so we have our cast right there. We read about a little girl named Little Red Riding Hood, and her mom told her to take some tortillas over to her grandma's house. She gave her a map, and then she found, or a coyote smelled it and decided that he needed to go talk to her, and he had an idea about how to, it was a mean idea, I guess, so we don't know what the idea was yet. We just know it was mean. He suggests that she go pick some flowers for Grandma, and that's where we left off, okay? So, looking at the pages we've already seen, I'm already going to make a connection. I've already made a connection. So Little Red has her map, and so I drive a lot. So I drive here from Austin every day, and when I'm driving around Austin, a lot of times I go places that I don't know exactly where they are, and so I always use a map on my phone. So it's funny, I'm making a connection to the fact that she has to use a map and how I have to use a map, but mine's a little different because I have a cell phone, and I wonder if she's a little worried about getting there safely, because, or getting there on time maybe, because when I have to use a map, usually I'm trying to get there by a certain time. So those are all little connections that I might make. I noticed she has a map. I know what it's like to use a map, and sometimes there's some stress that goes along with that. So I wonder if Little Red is stressed out. And then he suggests she picks these nice flowers, okay? So that reminds me of something else as she's sitting there. So we're going to start reading here. So while Little Red Riding Hood picked a bunch of the best flowers, Coyote ran off. He ran along the path right to Abuela's house. He says, "Hee hee, I'm so sly, I'll steal all the tortillas." So him wanting to steal the tortillas reminds me, this is another text-to-self connection that I'm making. It reminds me of when I was younger and I lived with my little brother, and he would always steal food. Like, he would take big bags of food from the pantry that our parents had got for us, and he would go hide it in his room so that he could have all of it. And that made me very mad. So I imagine that if Coyote does get to steal the tortillas, it would really upset Little Red and Abuela, because I've been in a situation like that and it did not feel good. So that's another connection that I'm making. You guys are going to make your own, so I won't make any more connections for the story. So, Coyote knocked on the door. He spoke in a high voice. "Hi, Abuela, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood." "Please come in, my dear." Coyote leaped in. He boldly locked Abuela in a closet. Then he put on a dress and hat to look like her. Soon Little Red Riding Hood was outside. She knocked. "Hi, Abuela, it's me. I have tortillas, flowers, and a book to help you feel better." Coyote tried to speak in a voice like Abuela. "Come in, sweet Little Red Riding Hood." Little Red Riding Hood stepped inside. Abuela did not seem like herself. "My Abuela, your eyes are so big." "So I can see you, my dear." "My Abuela, your ears are so big." "So I can hear you read to me, my dear." "My Abuela, your teeth are so big." And what do we think? What do we think is going to happen? "So I can eat all your tortillas." Coyote jumped up. He got stuck once or twice, but got the dress and hat off at last. Just then, Little Red Riding Hood got a text message. Wait just a minute. She read the message out loud. I'm in the closet. Please let me out. Love, Abuela. Brave Little Red Riding Hood dashed to the closet and unlocked it. In a flash, Abuela jumped out. What's going on in here? This mean coyote wants to steal the tortillas. I'm not mean. I'm just hungry. Please feed me. Please. Abuela, come with us, Coyote. They led Coyote to the kitchen. He sat down with a big sigh. All you had to do was ask, Coyote. We like to share our tortillas. They all ate the tasty tortillas together. Little Red Riding Hood read to Abuela. She felt better, and so did Coyote. Now we have come to the end of our tale of a brave girl, her abuela, and one very hungry coyote. The end. What a cute story. I really like the Little Red Riding Hood classic. I hope you guys did too. So we finished reading, and the expectation now is that you guys are going to make your own, one connection of your own. Okay, so it can't be one of the ones I said about driving, which wouldn't make sense if you were driving. And the one I made about, what was the other one I made? About my brother takes food. So you can't have one of those connections, but you're going to make one new one that is all yours, and I'm going to show you how to fill out your assignment for today. All right, so this is what your assignment looks like. You're going to write your connection to Little Red Riding Hood. Remember, you must be out of present mode to edit. So right here it says, reading Little Red Riding Hood made me think of ... And you are going to write your connection. So what did it remind you of? Did it remind you of another story you've heard? Did it remind you of something out in the world that you've seen? Or did it remind you of something with your family or your friends or just yourself? So you're going to write whatever it was that it made you think of, and then you're going to decide if your connection is a text-to-text, text-to-self, or text-to-world. And you can click this to type your prediction, or I'm sorry, not your prediction, your connection, and then it's going to say my connection is a blank connection. If it is a text-to-text, you can drag that box into that blank right there. If it's not text-to-text, you would drag text-to-self or text-to-world instead. All right. Have a good Tuesday, guys. Let us know if you need anything. After this, there is still a phonics video that you need to watch as well, okay? So make sure you do your phonics also. All right. See y'all later, guys.